This week on Ravens Report, a 2,000-yard season is revisited by the legend himself. Plus, a Hall of Famer sits down with a Ravens All-Pro. And the Ravens have been lighting up the scoreboard. So what's their path to victory in Kansas City? I've got the keys, and you won't want to miss them. All that and more starts now on Ravens Report.
Scene we have at M&T.
Welcome to Ravens Report. I'm Shelby Lasso. After a tough 38-30 home loss to the Detroit Lions on Monday night, the Ravens have turned their focus to the Kansas City Chiefs on a short week of preparation. It's only week 4. But with both teams sitting at 1-2, there is even more on the line for both the Ravens and the Chiefs Sunday afternoon. And whenever you have two MVP quarterbacks facing off in Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, you can for sure expect some offensive fireworks. Through the first 3 games of this season, Lamar has thrown 9 touchdown passes and has yet to throw an interception. In fact, over his last 20 games, Jackson has thrown 50 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. I'm sorry, what? But it's the defense that will need to step up after a rough start to this campaign. After the loss to the Lions on Monday night, Kyle Hamilton said, "There are no excuses. We have to patch everything up right now." With his long-term contract extension, K-Ham is now an unquestionable leader on this defense. And during training camp, Kyle had the opportunity to sit down with Hall of Famer Rod Woodson to share his perspective on not only his goals, but the goals of this Ravens defense.
So you played basketball first? Were you a basketball player first?
Yeah, well, I was playing both, but I was playing both all my life, but it was basketball at one point.
So you were a better basketball player, so to speak, than football, or about the same? Or
I think I was a better football player always, but my family was just basketball, so I thought I was just doing football just because it was fun, but ended up, obviously I'm here right now. So, but my cousin's dad, brother, everybody played in college professionally, so growing up,
basketball.
I was like, yeah, basketball. So growing up, I was like, okay, that's just the career path. I go to high school, get a few offers in basketball, go try to make some money at it. But I like football better.
Your fate, your fate.
Yeah, right. My dad didn't really understand it, but when he realized I could go to the league, he was like, go ahead, have fun.
So dad was a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Never played football.
He played, so he grew up in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
And he played growing up, quit in 8th grade. He said he didn't like getting hit, but he was playing quarterback in 8th grade. I remember him telling me like his whole O-line in 8th grade either went to Alabama or Auburn. So I was like, I don't know how you're complaining about getting hit and your whole O-line went SEC. But, you know, that's just a basketball player in him. My brother didn't like running slants, so he went to go play basketball too. And they just kept that in the family. I always joke with him about that. He's not tough enough to play football. But they would always tell me I have a little screw loose, and that's why I like playing football. So I kind of agree with them. I'm
thinking, so you're from Atlanta, Georgia. How did you get to South Bend, Indiana? I mean, it's like, it's hot, it's humid.
Yeah.
You went to South Bend, Indiana, which is like 45 minutes from my hometown, Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And it is cold up there. It's dark up there. You don't see the sun.
Yeah.
What made you go up there?
Well, I was deciding between Georgia and Notre Dame, and when it all came down to it. And my mom would always instill in me and my brother, like, the chances of you making money in a sport is slim to none. And I want you to go to a place where you have the opportunity to provide for yourself and your family in the future, given football, basketball, whatever it is, or not. So my brother ended up going to UPenn. He played basketball there. Graduated from there, went to William & Mary, got his MBA, and now is working in New York. He's retired. He still plays in the men's league, and he has like 8 points. He's texting our family group chat about it like he just had 30. But I ended up going to Notre Dame because of that reason. And my mom wanted me to get a good education, and I said they have best combination of football and education in the country. So, and I got to campus, saw the dome, kind of like mesmerizing. You either fall in love with it or you hate it. So I fell in love with it, committed, and it was probably one of the best decisions I made, just being there and the people there, just the alumni network, everything, and the pageantry of Notre Dame itself is one of a kind, and I loved it.
All right, so growing up, who was your favorite team?
Didn't really have a favorite. I was a big LSU fan growing up. NFL didn't have a favorite team, but I had a few guys.
You like the Dirty Birds?
I was a Michael Vick guy.
Oh, okay.
I was a Michael Vick guy. I had the
That's
fat
right.
head in my room.
Yeah,
I was a big Adrian Peterson guy. Sean Taylor. Always watch his YouTube highlights. Rest in peace. And then Odell, actually, because I was an LSU fan.
Oh, is that right?
So watching Odell when he first got in the league, all that stuff, like I almost dyed my hair blonde. I was wearing the high socks,
What?
all that. Yeah, I know, but my mom wasn't having that.
She was not going to
yeah,
let that
no,
happen.
she wasn't having it. But and then getting to play with him 2 years ago was pretty cool, and he's a great dude. So that's kind of something cool to kind of check off the list. But yeah, like Michael Vick, Adrian Peterson had all their fat heads and everything.
Mostly offensive guys, though.
I mean, that's
All your
kind
names
of,
are-
unfortunately, that's kind
You
of.
said all offenses, like you. Yeah,
It's
you
offensive
had Taylor.
league.
You had Taylor on there. Yes,
Yeah,
I mean he
yeah,
was a baller.
Sean Taylor,
right?
that's the safety who I feel like Ed's obviously Ed, much respect, probably best to ever do
Sean
it.
was a baller. He was a baller.
But Sean, he's just that's somebody who I feel like I can kind of get to that point of where he's doing so much and he's physical and he's bigger and making plays and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I want to get to eventually in terms of my play style. But yeah, I've watched his YouTube highlights probably 1,000 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you want to get to that point and play like his physicality. What has to get you to that point? Like, what do you need to do to get you? I know you said you need to, earlier you said you need to just go and play faster and be more aggressive. Like, what do you need to get in your head to say, okay, every time I come out here, I'm going?
Yeah, I feel like I'm close to that now. I mean, that's kind of how I play. It's just I feel like there's one more step I even can take. And I remember somebody said, I was watching like 30 for 30 or something about Sean Taylor, and they said like after practice, because he was kind of a quieter guy, said after practice he would just run sprints and then was a film junkie and all this stuff. And it's like, you've heard it 1,000 times, like there's a formula to it. Like Ed did that. Like I'm sure you were the same way. And then Sean as well. It's like there's a formula to greatness, and it's just a matter of whether you're willing to put in the work or not. So still a work in progress, but I feel like I can get to that point.
I always love when we have great sit down with young stars. The wisdom they share, the stories they tell, the insight they provide. It's not like this everywhere. Legends want to come back. They want to visit. They want to help develop these young players. That's pretty special. You can check out the full conversation on the Ravens YouTube page, along with sit-downs between Jonathan Ogden and Ronnie Stanley, as well as one of my personal favorites between Torrey Smith and Zay Flowers. Listen, I know Monday Night Football didn't go the Ravens' way, but every game teaches you something. Coming up on Ravens Report, the highs, the lows, and what it means moving forward. We'll be right back. Ravens Report is brought to you by MedStar Health, the trusted medical team of the Baltimore Ravens and you. MedStar Health. It's how we treat people. And by M&T Bank, the official bank of the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome back to Ravens Report. The NFL season is an 18-week journey. There are going to be high points and low points, moments that make you scream in excitement as well as in disgust. That's all part of being a fan, a coach, a player. That's what makes this all so thrilling, right? As Rod Woodson said earlier, you don't forget the bad moments. You take them with you, you learn from them, you correct the mistakes, you get better. And while that 38-30 loss to the Lions doesn't make us feel good this week, there were still plenty of great moments and plenty of lessons to learn from. So let's take a look back at the Week 3 matchup under the lights at M&T Bank Stadium.
Hey, come on, boy. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
The Ravens will put the defense on the field first, and the Lions will have the offense on the field first. And the Detroit Lions open up with an 11-play touchdown drive that quickly quiets this home crowd at M&T Bank Stadium. Now it's up to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to answer. Give it to Henry. Straight dive. He's got a hole. Henry to the 20. The King to the 15. 10, 5. Touchdown, Ravens!
Oh, touchdown! 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 Touchdown!
And that wakes the house back up. Jared Goff has hit on 8 of his first 9 passes for 100 yards. Well, now it's up to the Ravens offense to do what they did in the first quarter, and that is answer the Lions offense. Lamar wants to throw, steps up in the pocket, going deep, looking for Tez Walker. He's got him at the 4. Off the play fake, Lamar, pocket collapsing, throws, touchdown, Rashad Bateman. And the Ravens get back to the end zone.
Hey! Now how you going up and hit that? We just gotta do what we can do. Hell yeah.
Second half will start. Locked up at 14 apiece. The Ravens will have the ball first. They won the opening coin toss, elected to defer.
First down.
The Ravens went through their first 2 games this season with only 2 completions to tight ends combined. Tonight, 5 completions for the tight ends. What a catch by Mark Andrews, who reaches up and pulls it down at the 10-yard line. The 11th play of the drive. You hate to settle for a field goal. Lamar Jackson from the shotgun. Throws towards the end zone, looking for Andrews. He's got it! Touchdown, Mark Andrews! A diving grab along the sideline. And the Ravens have their first lead of the night. This was a game that was tied at 21 heading into the fourth quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, it has really been all Lions. The first play of the fourth quarter, Goff handed off to St. Brown, who flipped it to Gibbs on the option pitch play for a 4-yard touchdown. The Ravens got their points on a 41-yard Tyler Loop field goal. Jake Bates answered with a 45-yard field goal, which came on the heels of a Derrick Henry fumble. Ravens go 3 and out, and the Lions answer with a touchdown. And the Ravens, after week 3, find themselves in a 1-2 hole in the AFC North.
It's easy to forget the Ravens held a 21-14 lead in the third quarter and battled all game. The Detroit Lions are a good team. They're going to win a lot of football games, but so are the Ravens. The Lions were just the team to make the big plays late in the game to seal the victory. As John Harbaugh said post-game, our guys fought, but we didn't do the things we needed to do to win the game. But we'll look at tape and we'll get ready for Kansas City, and let me tell you, that's exactly what this team has been doing all week. Still to come on Ravens Report, we celebrate the 2,000-yard season of this Ravens legend, and I'm telling you, you do not want to miss it. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Ravens Report. As we continue to celebrate 30 seasons of Ravens football in Baltimore, we look back at the incredible performance of running back Jamal Lewis in 2003. His 2,066 rushing yards that year are a Ravens single-season record and still ranks as the 3rd best rushing season of all time. And do you know who is 5th on that all-time list? I'll help you out. It's second-year Raven Derrick Henry. After a surprising start to his season with 3 fumbles in 3 games, Henry says he needs to turn it around and refocus. And if there's anyone who can do that, it's the King. He's going to be fine, and he's going to be a big part of this team looking to win their 3rd straight AFC North title. But before we look forward to the Kansas City Chiefs and division titles, let's revisit Jamal Lewis's huge 2003 season on Untold Stories.
Hi, I'm Jamal Lewis. Was with the Ravens from 2000 to 2006. and this is Untold Stories.
What an amazing player, number 31, Jamal Lewis.
I went into that season with a 2,000-yard mindset. The only way you're going to get 2,000 yards, you got to have big games. And in order to have big games, you got to have big runs. The week leading up to that game, the season opener, I was actually on the phone with a good friend of mine that I went to high school with, Robert Cromartie. And he was good friends with Andre Davis. And we was just all on a three-way call. And he said that he heard that I would get the ball 30 times. And he said if I got the ball 30 times, he would get 30 tackles. So, you know, I just said if I get the ball 30 times, I'm gonna break a record.
And it's Jamal Lewis. Got an opening. I'd say he's gonna get his touches. After one, he has 6. Touchdown, 82 yards.
By halftime, I think I had 180-something yards. And I remember Jonathan Ogden basically calling the shot and saying, hey, look, you know, we might as well go for the record. And I'd always saw Corey Dillon when he broke the record, and he had 274 yards in that game. I'd always knew, I said, we can, you know, I can do that, you know, and that was my mindset.
Jamal Lewis off the right side. He's got a first down, broke a tackle. He's at midfield, 45-40, up the middle. He's at the 30, 25-20, pull it away, 10-5, touchdown.
After that game, it was just more of, you know, just really just taking it all in. Wow, you know, we did it. I think the most special part of that 295 game was when I was sitting at home and I got a call from it was a Baltimore number, I didn't know who it was, and I answered it, and I just heard a voice that I knew on the other side, and he said, Jamal, this is Art Modell. He said that was one of the best performances that I have seen since Jim Brown, and that was hands down one of the best parts of actually having that game. So Cleveland was one of those teams that was somewhat of a rivalry. I can remember going into that last game, you know, we knew there was gonna be high emotions, playing at their home stadium. It was cold as all get out. One of the things when we played the Browns, you knew that they was gonna be amped up and ready to go at the beginning of the game. But Coach used to always say, just go out and do your job and wait till the second half because there'll be nobody in the stands. We just laid on them, you know, the first half. And we knew we wasn't going to pop any big runs early. In the second half is when we knew we would go get it, and they would be kind of worn.
And Jamal gets the ball coming right up the middle. He's into the secondary. Look out. 45 midfield. He could go. Touchdown, yes! Jamal Lewis. Lewis, he pops into the secondary. 10-5. Touchdown. Jamal Lewis does it again against the Browns.
And that's when we came out and really ran it hard. And I think I ended up coming out, I don't know, maybe late in third quarter, early fourth quarter or something like that. I would have gotten the 60-something plus yards I needed to break the all-time, the season-leading record. I can tell you that.
It's always satisfying when an untold story becomes a told story. Thanks to Ravens legend Jamal Lewis for sharing some insight into that incredible season from his perspective. Coming up on Ravens Report, Baltimore wants to bounce back in a big way on Sunday in Kansas City. So what will it take to knock Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to 1-3? My keys to victory are coming up right after this break. Welcome back to Ravens Report. The Ravens have a huge Week 4 challenge this Sunday in Kansas City, and this just feels like a get-right game. At 1-2, Baltimore can't afford to slip to 1-3. So what do the Ravens have to do to ensure that flight home Sunday night is victorious? For me, I believe it starts with how the Ravens start the game. Through 3 weeks, the Ravens have been explosive offensively, scoring over 30 points in every game. But here's the problem. Just 13 of those points have come in the first quarter. The offense has caught fire in quarters 2 through 4, but in Kansas City, against a team like the Chiefs, you can't afford to just ease into the game. game. The Ravens need to strike early, put points on the board, and let Lamar set the tone. A quick start and long offensive drives also keeps the home crowd out of it and keeps Patrick Mahomes watching from the sideline. Going off of that, when everything is working in Todd Monken's offense, the Ravens are nearly impossible to stop. They lead the entire NFL in scoring with 111 points. And what's even better, 8 different offensive players have found the end zone for 14 touchdowns. That's balance, that's creativity, and that's what it's going to take in KC. Run the football, mix in the passing game, and keep every weapon on the table so the Chiefs can't just key in on one guy. And finally, the Ravens defense needs to contain Patrick Mahomes. I know. Much easier said than done, right? Mahomes is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a 2-time MVP, and he currently leads the Chiefs in rushing yards this season. We know he can beat you with his arm or his legs, and the Ravens just went a whole game without sacking Jared Goff. That has to change. Mahomes has been sacked 6 times this year, so Baltimore's defense needs to collapse the pocket, stay disciplined in their rush lanes, and make him uncomfortable. But it's not just Mahomes. The Ravens defense also has to tighten up against the run. Detroit gashed them for over 200 rushing yards last week, and even with a banged up D-line, that just can't happen again. Stopping the ground game is part of containing Mahomes too, because if KC's backs get rolling, it only makes the play action and scramble opportunities more dangerous. So if the Ravens can start fast, stay balanced, and limit Mahomes' magic, they'll give themselves a great chance to even up their record at 2-2. That's it for this edition of Ravens Report. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.